Welcome back to the channel, my friends. Warhammer Man Studios. I'm Warhammer Man, and today we're taking a look at the brand new Space Wolf faces. This video is sponsored by the Game Bunker. More on that later. The life cycle of a Space Wolf as told by his beard. So a little bit of a silly article today, but with the new Space Wolves right around the corner, I figured this is a great opportunity to take a look at some of the new detailed faces, the sculpts, and of course the facial hair as well. To some of the less enlightened amongst the Imperium's multitudes, the Space Wolves can come across as savage and barbaric, not least due to how they eschew their helmets and let their dazzling locks flow free. What the uninitiated don't realize is that you can tell a lot of the Fenrisian from how he keeps his mane, and the distinctive differences are clear to see amongst all the new plastic kits. So as someone who appreciates some good facial hair, I am definitely excited to see all of the new sculpts, some of the recent kits, and details on Games Workshop's faces, like the Votan for instance, and their lack of awesome and amazing beards have for sure been a disappointment, so it's nice to see the Games Workshop is leaning in hard on the Viking boys. Unlike the majority of the Space Wolf chapters, Novitiate Space Wolves start as Blood Claws, and rather than joining the Scout Company, these impetuous warriors are full of juvenile aggression, and the helmetless heads in the new kit highlight their youth with a marked lack of facial hair. Alright, so here we can see 3 of these sculpts painted up, and then we got a bunch of different heads to choose from. So you're going to get 10 Space Wolves in the kit. I haven't taken a close enough to look to see if it's basically like 5 and 5, so you're essentially getting like duplicates of all the models, or if it is 10 individual like unique models. But here we can see quite a few helmets and helmetless heads displayed here. So we have 15 different heads to choose from. 6 of those are helmeted, and then we have 9 helmetless heads. We can see 3 of them painted up with some like real nice look and style. The first one very Space Wolfy. Second one still got like a strong haircut and some nice little facial hair, but definitely showing signs of receding hairline. Third one definitely looking young, got like a little floof on top. Fourth one much more of like your traditional style. Fifth one got the traditional style like mohawk, kind of like Adeptus Custodes. And then the fifth one, we got a nice little like Wolverine thing going on with the beard, and then a nice little plume on top. Seventh one, again, very Space Wolf-esque, strong defined jawline and some nice Space Wolfy looking like strong features. Same with the next one as well. And then the last one's got like the longer locks in a braid, but definitely looking a little more relaxed. The helmeted heads are like pretty standard overall. We got a couple of little Space Wolf iconographies. We got one of the old style Beaky Marines, one of the like traditional kind of tactical helmets, and then a bunch of the Primaris style helmets as well. And then we also have one with a built-in targeter. So nice little like sort of assortment of Space Wolf helmets and faces here. And then moving on to the next kit. With their violent instinct tempered by years of service, Blood Claws grow past their impulses and join the Grey Hunters, who strike a more delicate balance between discipline and ferocity. Accordingly, their fine facial hair is closely cropped and well maintained, letting the odd hair braid and whiskey flare do the talking. Alright, so again here we've got a display of like faces and then helmets as well. So we have 5 of the helmeted heads. So I'm guessing that both these kits are like duplicate sets. So you basically get 5 unique sculpts and then 2 of each. But I'm honestly not sure, but just so if you wanted the option for like all helmeted heads, which some people prefer, more likely than not, you're going to be getting like 2 of the same. So you'll be able to use each of the helmeted heads twice. Then on top of the helmeted heads, we've got another 9 helmetless heads. So very cool. And here we can see a little bit more of that grizzled look kind of showing out. So we got one with a bionic eye. We've got some super cool like facial hair on the next few. More traditional, kind of like mohawk and like the short top cut. Then we got a couple with some longer hair, some braids. Definitely real strong features, like strong jaw lines, pronounced facial features. We see like some fangs on some of them with their mouths open. Really liking the overall look and style of these. The old Space Wolf like sculpt faces were cool and everything, but they were definitely looking a little bit dated. Some of the haircuts were a little bit on the weak side. These are much more like realistic. They got a lot more flair to them and just overall like better style. Definitely a big fan of these.
Now a quick word from today's sponsor, Game Bunker. Game Bunker carries a full range of Games Workshop products, including miniatures, terrain, paint tools, and more. Game Bunker offers 15% off MSRP for most Games Workshop products with the discount code WHMS. Receive free shipping in the continental United States on orders over $145. Online orders ship out within 24 hours. Game Bunker is a veteran-owned business. Use affiliate link below, enter discount code WHMS to save 15% on most items at checkout. For fast, friendly service with a discount on your favorite tabletop wargaming purchases, visit GameBunker.net and let them know that Warhammer Man sent you.
Those who have survived long enough to join the elite ranks of the Wolfguard Headtakers maintain a huntsman's mane, keeping their beard short but distinguished, in our minds to avoid getting tangled up when dueling enemy leaders. Each set of 3 comes with 6 unhelmeted heads, so you can pull together a full-size squad with their own unique styles. Alright, so this is your set of 3 right here. So you got 6 helmetless heads, and then we got 3 different helmeted heads, all with like the plume. Again, really nice looking sculpts right here. Much more of like the grizzled kind of veteran look. Really like the overall style of these. The plumes on the helmets makes them stand out, and then the faces, awesome. And then of course you can mix and match like a lot of these different ones. All except for the Terminators are just going to be able to be swappable between bodies. Very, very cool. Definitely a huge fan of the Headtakers. They are amazing sculpts. Wolfguard Terminators, on the other hand, are icons of age and experience, and have some spectacular facial hair to go with it. Each squad of 5 Terminators has a whopping 13 unhelmeted heads to pick from, with some sporting intricate braids and bands, while others' beards are left to flow free in their majesty. Alright, so here we can see all of the different heads. So it does look like there's only one helmeted head, but you should be able to swap out any extra Terminator heads if you wanted to go for the helmeted heads. I personally do like the helmetless heads. So we got a bunch of different beard selections, bunch of cool braids. These are very much more in like the look and style of what I like for the Space Wolf Terminators. Very grizzled, very cool, very detailed. Games Workshop has absolutely crushed it with these faces all throughout the range. The new Space Wolf range looks absolutely awesome. I am definitely looking forward to painting up some of these guys. Now we can't wrap up talking about facial hair without a few honorable mentions. The legendary Logan Grimnar keeps his chin relatively well dressed in favor of championing possibly the greatest mustache of all time, while his close confidant Njal Stormcaller makes up for that with an impressive two-pronged approach. Given his astonishing age, we can only imagine what kind of hirsute artistry Bjorn the Fell-Handed is packing beneath his sarcophagus. The full range of new Space Wolf miniatures go up for pre-order on Saturday, along with Codex Supplement Space Wolves. So here we can see Logan, beautiful sculpt right here, absolutely awesome head. Love the braids, love the hair, love the detail. And then we have Njal Stormcaller. I honestly am just not sure about this face. I think part of it is just the paint job that we see in all the pictures. I think it probably will look better out in the wild than it does in the Games Workshop like sort of test model here. I am not a big fan of this like actual paint job on the face, but I think once the community gets a hold of it and we see like a couple different variants, I'm sure it looks fine. But very cool, very well done. Absolutely love Games Workshop's new heads. The sculpts are awesome on like the overall miniatures, but the detail on the faces, just a massive glow up from the previous Space Wolf range. So let me know what you think of the new look and style of the heads, the faces, the facial hair, all that good stuff. Always like to hear back from you guys in the comments. And as always, special thanks to the Game Bunker for sponsoring the channel. Check out the link in the description to save 15% on most Games Workshop products with code WHMS at checkout. Warhammer Man Studios, I'm Warhammer Man, and I am super excited for this week's pre-orders. And I'm out of here.